We've never been in your shoes, but we're playing the game of life. We'll chase away all your blues with a laugh and a ghost of your strife. Never have I ever, never have I ever, starts now.
Hello and welcome back. This is episode 10 of the Advice Podcast, the weekly advice podcast. Never have I ever. How you doing, Tom?
Woo! Doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. The heat is on in the basement, which means the heat is on in the octagon. Are you ready to sweat it out as we save some people today?
Let's do it. I'm getting hot in here. I'm wearing a hoodie, but it may come off soon, baby. God, that's the creepiest thing I've ever said.
It's not even the creepiest thing you've said today.
Honestly, yeah, you're probably right.
Anyways, for those of you who are new to the show, my name is Tim.
Oh, and I'm Tom.
That's right, and we like to come
and
to
I forget
you guys.
my own name.
Yeah. He's kind of a work in progress, people. Anyways,
Can I be Tim too?
Tim also?
Yes.
Sure. I mean, that is your middle name.
And I'm Tim.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, for those of you who've never listened before, we take your questions, your submissions, things that you need help with, and we try to help you live a slightly easier life through our great life coaching.
If anything, these questions should make you feel better about your life. Hopefully.
Well, that's the idea. We like to take questions of things that we've never experienced.
Right.
Personally.
And assuming I don't know, maybe our listeners have never been in these situations.
We get a non-biased, objective opinion by never being in that position before and judging you from the outside in.
Yes. And also giving me plenty of fuel for actual never have I ever when I play King's Cup.
Oh, I see how you're flipping this around. You're like, boom, I have things to say now. I'm not quite so vanilla white bread.
Honestly, though, I still blank when I play Never Have I Ever. I'm just like, I don't know. Fuck.
Never have I ever sat on a popsicle.
Never has my mom ever been an escort? And then everyone looks at me like,
where'd you get that from?
Yeah, none
Episode
of ours
6.
have either.
Anyways, you can send your questions to us. We'll keep it anonymous. We'll keep it fresh to neverhaveievershow@gmail.com. You can send your submissions to our Ask box on Tumblr at neverhaveievershow.tumblr.com. You can find us on Twitter at NHIE Show and on the Facebook, if it's up, Mark Zuckerberg, I'm looking at you. You can find us on Never Have I Ever on there as well, and we also post our shows to YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Just search Never Have I Ever and our names and like podcast, and you'll probably get it.
So, like, Tom, this is episode 10.
Yeah.
It's a seminal episode.
Uh-huh.
But not like seminal, like
semen.
Right. Although this episode's going to have plenty of semen.
Will it?
No.
Oh.
Possibly.
You're toying with my emotions now.
Do you want there to be more semen in this story?
I'm just thinking that super bad bit or like, sometimes I wake up thinking that the whole world is covered in semen.
If that guy had jerked off and then punched you in the face, we'd have a chance of catching him. Yeah. Anyways, since we like to keep things fresh and keep things crazy, we like to pull stuff we've never had. So until we fill up that question box, which we have a few we're stewing on, but we're waiting to hear from you. Don't worry, if you have any questions, send them to us. We'll sort it out. Tom, are you ready to see what Reddit has to offer for us today?
So, last episode you talked about this being special. You mentioned to me, are these like rejects? Are these reject questions?
No. I'm saving the reject questions for when we get Garrett back on the show.
Oh, okay.
Our third roommate, who is off playing music in a bigger city than the one that we are currently in.
He's in New York City, playing at CMJ.
So he's doing better things than we are.
I guess it doesn't matter because by the time this comes out, CMJ will have already happened. So,
and he won't be signed.
Or he will be. We don't know.
He could be.
It's still in the future for us.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll hop in the DeLorean and find out.
Rick and Morty.
I'm Tiny Rick.
I'm Tiny Rick, bitch.
You're trying to Snapchat you on the microphone?
It's not working because the microphone's taking up way too much of the face.
Yeah, like a penis, like a big old penis in your face.
You're the expert. All right, Tom, you ready for question number 1?
Born ready.
So I have this friend. We've been friends for a few years, but I've never had feelings for him. I think he likes me because our mutual friends say that, but he has never admitted it. He's on an immature oh wow, this is poorly phrased. He's on the immature side. We're in the middle of an argument right now, so we're not really talking. When I talk to our mutual friends about what to do about this, or show them some of the texts he sent me and saying things about him liking me or not, knowing that they totally want to see us get married. These friends totally think we'd be the ultimate cute couple, but I have no emotional ploy attached to this guy. So I don't really want to date him, but they say things like they're trying to force me into like a convenient relationship. What should I do? It's so annoying to feel the pressure from people. Just because we're friends in the same age range doesn't mean we're destined to be together. Right?
Wrong.
Sorry. It's like the olden times. Your friends are taking the roles of your parents, and they've already arranged your marriage.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, that guy's parents already has a cow and 2 goats.
This girl doesn't remember it because she was really drunk. But this one time, they were both at a party, and they were really drunk, and they had their friends arrange the marriage, and they agreed to it. So it's a binding contract. Crazy enough, even though they were drunk. It's crazy, but I mean, that's just the way the legal system works. I mean, yeah, you're destined to be with this guy.
Yeah. To be completely honest, this is a really simple thing. Just if you don't want to, don't do it.
Just ignore your friends.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I don't listen to Tom ever. I took the trash out 3 weeks ago. Haven't touched it since.
Yeah, and we have a fucking ton of fruit flies now.
Okay, that's not
Thanks,
fair.
ass.
That's not fair. That's not on me. That's on the person who left the bananas out for 2.5 weeks.
True. He tried to turn the kitchen into a banana stand because he thought there'd be money in it.
He then turned it into a fruit fly stand.
He does work at a fruit stand.
He does work at a fruit stand. But no, this is a simple question, simple answer. Maybe not simple to you because you feel kind of like that pressure from the outside, but you are under no obligation to date somebody because it's convenient to your friends.
Though, I do want to make this a little bit more complicated. So, should she keep an open mind?
Like, go out with him solo to see what's going to happen?
Just to see what happens.
But she said he's on the immature side, so she's like not even into him as a person.
That's true. She's not even into, but yeah, I mean, I guess they've been friends for a while, so I guess she would know. Like, she doesn't, maybe he has a little bit of a deeper side that she could try to get to know.
Oh, he's got a deep side, all right.
I mean, she's got the deep side.
Huh. It is 2015. He can have the deep side. You can ask Jeff Ramsey.
Yeah, all right. She'll stick a dildo in his butt.
Hey, anything can happen. As long as it's consensual.
Anyway, I don't know, because I agree. Like, she is under no obligation to date this guy. If she doesn't like him, she doesn't have to. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, I don't know. Maybe your friends see something that you don't, you know?
Right. But on the same token, it's like, say that they each have the 4 friends, and those 4 friends comprise 2 couples. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with them being the 5th and 6th wheel and just not being romantic. There's nothing wrong with just being like, oh yeah, we'll all go out and we'll just be the other pair. But you're under no obligation to be like, oh, we're also going to make out during the movie.
See, that's, I think, a good distinction. Like, if it is 2 couples, like 2 friend couples telling you that you and this guy should date, then it might just be them wanting, like, they might legitimately think that you should be with this person, but also it might be like ooh, you know what, we should try to get them together. Yeah, that way we can all, like, triple date, not just go out on double dates and blah, blah, blah. That sort of a thing. It could be a little bit of that. But if, like, if it's like 4 friends, none of them are dating, none of them are couples, and they're all telling you the same thing, maybe give it a shot. I mean, the worst that can happen is that you just have a bad date and
never have to revisit it.
Yeah, and then that's it. It's over. You can just say, like, we tried, it didn't work out.
You're in a voluntary friend group. You're not like in an involuntary sex party thing to where like there's any expectations on your end.
Yeah. I have sort of been in this situation, though.
You've been in a group sex party thing?
Yes. God, it was hot as fuck.
Huh. Can't imagine you in that situation. but I'm trying to, which is like equally as scary
Yeah,
to knowing that
I
it
kind of
happened.
don't want you to try to imagine that.
You put that image in my head, man. I'm just gonna paint the colors of the wind, Pocahontas.
Yeah, no, but I've sort of been in this situation. Like I remember in high school.
Oh, I know. I used to make you date the gym teacher all the time.
No, it was the Spanish teacher.
The one that got arrested for having sex with children?
Yes, not an untrue story.
Not an untrue
Anyway.
story. Links will be provided
No, they won't.
in the comment section.
But I remember in high school, like, there's this girl we were sort of like on and off. Like, I would like her, she wouldn't like me. She would like me, I wouldn't like her. Blah blah blah. But we had friends who'd be like, "Oh my god, they're so."
Was this high
destined to
school
be
or like kindergarten? I would like her, and then she wouldn't like me. I would like her, and then she wouldn't like me.
This was high school, though. I did propose to a girl in kindergarten.
Where's she at now?
Oregon or Montana, something like that.
That friend?
Washington.
That friend?
Yeah.
The one that's in... Okay. I know where she lives, but... Okay.
Was I right?
With what answer? You answered 3 times.
Was I right with Oregon?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I proposed to a
Good
girl
friend of the show.
in kindergarten. But no, so yeah, this was happening to me in high school, and
So you peaked in kindergarten, is what you're saying. You're like, boom, everything was going great. I was engaged.
and then things fell apart.
Yeah.
And then
So you're like closer to death now. You've already peaked. Now you've had your bad period. You're either going to have your Lenny Kravitz cock out like resurgence, or
she
you're
took
done.
off my pants and saw my baby dick, and that my balls hadn't dropped yet, and she's like, "I ain't about this," and then she pieced. She
There
broke
is
up
so
with me.
much wrong with that last sentence that you said.
I know. I felt so weird saying
Like-
it, but I was
like-
like, I'm just gonna swing for the fences.
I'm going to go ahead and say there's nothing redeeming about what you just said. There's
Not-
no way to walk that back out.
Yeah, not really trying. I'm just accepting it and moving forward.
Gonna call
That's
it
what you gotta do with life sometimes. Just accept and move forward. Anyway, my point I was trying to make was that I've sort of been in this situation before. You can keep an open mind, you can give it a shot, but you may not. It may be destined to fail anyway. But
Yeah.
you won't know until you try.
Well-
So, maybe try.
Maybe, but I don't know. Because, I mean, if you're never going to be into it, you can't, like, lie to yourself to get into it.
No. I think there's a difference, though, between lying to yourself to get into it and just keeping an open mind, though.
True. Because, I mean, I don't think that she should go into it with any expectations.
No.
And neither should he.
No. I think that she should go into it, like, expecting it not to be destiny, you know?
But the idea is that if he really likes her, and they're like, oh, no, you two should get together, he really likes you, that puts a lot of pressure on you. Especially if you're not feeling it.
That's true. Because then you don't want to break the person's heart.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want to lead them on in some kind of weird situation. So you got to, like, I don't know, stick to your guns. I'd say stay platonic and don't even let anything else seem or appear to happen.
Yeah, I guess, like, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to, but maybe keep an open mind.
That's also what Tom says when he takes women into the bedroom. Anyway, so we think we helped that person.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so we're going to take this in another direction.
All right.
We're going to go from maybe a relationship.
East to west?
Probably south to even more south.
Oh. So cross-ice passing.
I've been with my scientist boyfriend for about 6 months, and everything is going great. We have interesting conversation, and being that we have opposing views on God and religion, we debate it often.
Cool.
We were both raised in Catholic households. During a difficult time in my life, I turned to God and through my faith found happiness and peace of mind.
This is about to get controversial.
He had
Real fast.
He had the opposite effect. He said he was searching for answers and religion did not provide them. He says that he believes facts and things that can be proven. He believes in science. There are a lot of ideas the Catholic Church preaches that I do not agree with. Aside from the church, though, I know that I love and believe in God. Boyfriend has no such faith. I respect his views completely and never try to push my beliefs on him, but I'm pretty religious and my boyfriend isn't at all. How do you make it work if you guys are on opposite ends of the spectrum?
I don't know. I have nothing.
Have I finally stumped you, Tom, and made you speechless with something that wasn't an insane sex trick?
I just don't know where to begin because like
It begins with the whole idea of being open.
but I'm finding it so hard to identify with her. I don't
Tom hates religion.
I'm just well
Tom, when he hears the church bells every Sunday morning from the church nearby, he furiously masturbates until all the sound is stopped.
I mean that's also the only way I can get off. It's a weird fetish of mine.
Jesus Christ.
I need them bells. Those hell's bells. Raining for you. Hell's bells.
Is that how that song goes? I don't actually know what happens other than the intro riff and the fact that they scream hell's bells. No, the thing that's really weird is that she's like, oh yeah, we've been dating 6 months, but now we're going to drop the I believe in God and you don't thing, or she's bringing that part up.
I think it just I need a little time to process this. I think it might come down to tolerance. As most things do, of just being tolerant of another person's beliefs and whatnot. She found comfort in a difficult time by turning to religion and God. Although I don't think I would have found that same comfort, and I don't think I would have turned to religion in the first place. I think that it's valid that she got something out of it. Whether or not God actually helped her or anything, I can't say for sure one or the other. Personally, I don't think they did. But as long as she got some sort of emotional stability from the experience, then I guess it's good and her feelings are valid. And I think that he should accept that she believes this way. Flip side, I think that she should accept that her boyfriend does it, that just religion just doesn't do it for him. And that's fine. I fall a little bit more on that bit of the spectrum where I don't believe in God or anything. I believe in logic and fact. And every once in a while, yeah, I'll catch myself being like, I mean, that's not to say I won't be like, God, this fucking sucks, or like, what the fuck, God, or something, or something like that. But
Lose your train of thought there?
Yup, totally derailed.
So basically, I think to piggyback off what you're saying, because I think this is the one time that like you and I are gonna totally agree on a situation.
Mm-hmm.
They both need to be open to the other's view, but still maintain the idea that nothing that they are going to say to one another is going to change their mind.
Right.
And there should never be an attempt to change the other person's mind.
No, 100% not.
It's like, if somebody wants to believe that the magic trick is magic, if somebody wants to believe that Chris Angel is floating, you don't teach them how it's done.
Although, I think this could lead to bigger issues, though.
Definitely.
Like, let's say, hypothetically, they have a child together, and she wants to raise it so that the child believes in creationism, and he is all about evolution. It's like, which do you teach the kid? I mean, I guess you could teach both, but at the same time, I can kind of see the guy being like,
don't teach him that God shit. It's not real.
well, or like her being like, evolution isn't real, and him being like, here's a list of facts about why it is.
The interesting thing there is, I mean, I think I'm not going to tell them how to raise a child, but I think, I mean, they were both raised Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see a problem with them both at least starting off a child that way. You know what I mean?
That's
and
true.
like kind of coaching them out of it, because when you're really young, religion isn't about Jesus saving a certain number of people or the Jews being expelled and this kind of angry stuff. When you're a kid, you learn like the basics of religion, And what are the basics of religion? Just not be a shitty person.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to think. That's the thing that's always been like, I'm okay with religion in that it gives you a decent code of how not to be an asshole. But once you get beyond that to like the specifics, you kind of lose me.
I've thought about this before. Like, just I was raised Catholic as well, and I went to church school, and I'm not technically, I am a confirmed Roman Catholic. That was a thing that happened.
It's Facebook official. Ow.
Don't break yourself.
I'm going to break his chair first.
So I was raised Catholic, but I've thought like, all right, if I did have a child, would I give it the same experience? And I don't think I would, because I just don't care. I guess I wouldn't want to subject my child to like just the bores of church school. I get what you're saying with the morality.
You want to save the child because it's boring, not the fact that he'd be learning how not to be an asshole?
I get the morality that you're trying to instill, but I think there are other ways you can teach morality to a kid besides religion.
True, but I mean that tends to be, I guess, a good uniform starting place, because I mean a lot of kids we knew in high school or like through schooling, we also knew from like church stuff and church related stuff. So I mean like that's a good way to like have them all together learning the same thing. Mm-hmm. Because if you get like a bunch of say 6 or 7 year olds in a classroom who are all like part of church school, but your son is taught or daughter is taught that God isn't real, I don't think they necessarily have like the moral compass or the, I guess, filter to not be like, what are you talking about? Who told you God's real? My dad said God's not real. And I'm just like, just wait. It's kind of like Santa Claus. Just let it go for a little bit, and then when you start to realize it's gone too long, you're like, gotta rein that shit back in.
The funny thing is about like you mentioned, once you get into specifics, you're not about it. I remember being in church school. I was a freshman in high school, and they're like, they're doing like a little trivia, like or like fact thing. Our church school
it's God night at the trivia pub.
Our church school leaders were, and they're like, when is it no longer okay to use a condom? And we're all like,
when she's already pregnant. Boom.
Oh no. Like after you're married. They're like, after you're married, don't use a condom anymore. And I'm like, this seems weird.
You see the people who you see the large families and you're like, wow, you must get Swiss condoms because they're just all full of holes.
Yeah. But what a weird thing to tell like a 14-year-old kid. After you're married, don't wear a Jimmy cap.
Huh. But I think harping back to the story, it's like,
oh, real quick though, I have thought about the opposite of what I said, like how I said I wasn't going to raise my kid Catholic.
You're going to raise your kid like super Catholic?
I've almost thought to raise my kid Catholic with the hopes that they will rebel against it and become atheists anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
you should raise your kid Jewish and then make a lot of money.
No, like, I think one of the reasons...
Just name your kid Reuven Malter and teach him how to play baseball.
Like, you get into high school and you're like, you want to rebel against whatever your parents are teaching you. It's like, oh man, maybe if I teach them religion, they'll then rebel against religion and then not be it. Whereas the opposite happens. Like, I tell them that God isn't real. They rebel against that fact and then become super religious. It's sort of like a reverse psychology thing.
I think you're overthinking it.
Oh, 100%. It's just kind of fun to think about. Anyway, bringing it back into this person. Compromise. So, good example. I go to church.
Tell them God is maybe real.
That's called being agnostic.
Do what George Carlin said. Worship the sun, but pray to Joe Pesci. Because Joe Pesci looks like a guy who could get shit done.
I guess if it really bothers you, have a conversation and maybe just talk about compromising. Like compromise that...
Jesus. The white girl just exploded.
Morty, you just gotta compromise.
Oh no.
So make compromise. It's like, I tend to go to church with my family on like Christmas and Easter because I know it makes my mom happy, and they do a lot for me. So it's like, well, I mean, sacrificing an hour or two of my day to go to a church like once or twice out of the year is not a difficult stretch. You know, I make that compromise for them and they appreciate it. So maybe sort of when you're starting to think about future things, make compromises with them. Because I'm sure she's probably thinking down the road, like, all right, if we get married, where are we going to get married? Are we going to do it in a church? I want to do it in a church because I'm religious. And he's all like, I don't want to do it in a church, babe. What, are you fucking kidding me? I don't believe in God.
I mean,
And she's all
atheists
like,
get married in churches all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That's just like the place to do it, is get married in a church. You don't even have to be religious.
No, I mean, like, I would I guess, I mean, again, I'm confirmed Roman Catholic, so I guess I could.
I'm going to get married at Center Ice at Nationwide.
That's cool. That's a lot cooler than a church.
But we're not going to take the ice away.
Oh.
If you want to be in my wedding, no. You're going to have to figure it out on flats or high heels.
Yikes. This sounds
Here
very
comes
dangerous.
the bride, slips on the ice.
Has a compound fracture now.
Sweet.
Not sweet. You can't have... Well, yeah, you can consummate the marriage in a hospital bed, I suppose.
Hey, we got to get to a red wedding one way or another. Boom, magically we tied it back to last week. But, I mean, yeah, you just have to be open about this. I mean, you've been dating for 6 months.
That's true. It's like this...
Nothing is figured out in 6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I was at the laundromat today. And apparently there's a new reality show about, like, married in 90 days or, like, the 90-day engagement.
What?
Right? And I'm just like, okay, 3 months? That's insane. 6 months? Still insane.
After 3 months, they get engaged? Or after 3 months, they get married?
3 months they get married.
Like, from the point they meet each other, and then they get married 3 months after. Like, they were complete strangers.
Worse. The females are like Russian. So it's like mail order bride and you have like 90 days to meet them and then you get it. Yeah.
What?
Even that's insane. 6 months, still insane. Like I can meet a friend and 6 months later I still don't know if I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't marry somebody I've only known for 6 months. They got a lot of angels in their closet or devils.
Yeah.
It's near Halloween. We'll get to that later.
Okay.
And also,
will there be Tom Hanks?
Why would there be Tom Hanks?
Because they're angels and demons.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tom Hanks wasn't in Halloween. There could be Jamie Lee Curtis Tate, but anyways. So yeah, just be open, be cautious. It's 6 months. You might not be soulmates.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
It's okay if you're not. Question number 3.
Mm-hmm.
So for the past few weeks, my relationship hasn't been awesome. I'm currently in teacher's college and I work full-time to support myself. I barely have any time for myself, let alone a relationship. I'm not happy, which I don't think the relationship's fault, but it doesn't help since I'm not doing great. I just broke up with my girlfriend an hour ago and I feel like crap about it. I still have feelings for her and didn't really want to break up with her, but I just didn't want to drag her into this anymore, and it's not fair. Quite honestly, I think the breakup would be mutual, but apparently it totally blindsided her. This isn't the first time the idea has come up for either of us. I think the fact that it actually happened surprised her, though. I went to her house, was respectful and honest, and she kicked me out without listening to me. I wanted to part amicably, but the reason it's not working is circumstantial, and I didn't want to burn any bridges. So now she hates me, and my bad situation has been compounded. What did I do wrong? Okay, so short of everything.
He either did everything wrong or nothing wrong. I'm not sure yet.
Like, I feel like he did the right thing. It's just too soon to be writing in. Like, he has not digested it.
Yeah, an hour after he broke up.
I'm lactose intolerant, and I can drink milk and be fine in an hour. Like, you don't know the full scope of a situation within an hour.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, we broke up and I still miss her. Well, yeah, because it was an hour ago.
And she didn't even listen to his reasoning. I'm sure in like a day or two, she'll listen to the reasoning either through him or like through a friend of hers that he talked to.
So what was the reasoning? Was it just because he's kind of depressed?
He's working full time. He's in school full time. He's not happy and he's just kind of stressed. And
Right, but he said him not being happy isn't the relationship's fault.
right. But, working full time and school full time and just not being in a good mood. And then he's not able to put everything forward in a relationship. So he doesn't feel like the relationship's whole. So he's like, I don't want to half-ass it for somebody else based on the fact that I don't have any more asses left to give. So he's like, I'm doing this just because it's not fair to you.
I don't like that.
How do you not like that?
The way that's phrased is as like him sounding like a hero in this position. Like, here's where I think the distinction is. I think that if you no longer like a girl and you break up with her because you don't prolong the breakup because, oh, she's got a birthday coming up, I can't break up with her now. Oh, she's got this, her grandma just died, I can't break up with her now. Oh, Christmas is coming, I can't break up with her now. I think if like you are mentally checked out, but you keep prolonging the inevitable and then you break up, that's not good. Like if you just cut it off from the beginning, that you could sort of say it was like,
But he did just cut it off.
well, or let's say like you were thinking about other people, like seeing other people and like to the point where you were about to cheat on her, but you didn't. And then you broke up with her so that like you didn't cheat on her. Then maybe I could say that you're a little bit more noble, a little bit more admirable, a little bit more heroic. But I think just to be like, I'm kind of in a shitty situation. I'm not happy. I don't want to drag you into my unhappiness, so I'm going to spare you this. I don't like that.
Call it emo all
I don't
you want,
like that
or
he's
attention.
quote unquote saving her from his situation. I think
So what do you want him to do?
I think
He's
that
burning
in a
the candle
strong,
at both ends.
I think that in a strong relationship, if he's having,
It's not a strong relationship.
but I think that if in a strong relationship he's going through a tough time, he should be able to throw himself into the relationship, feel better about it. His partner can commiserate with him and make him feel better about it. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I value what you're saying, but you're fucking wrong. Just there you go. You're wrong. He's working full time.
I get what you're saying, that like he doesn't have enough time to put into it.
So what's he supposed to do? Be like, you know what, girl that I'm dating, possibly not soulmate, just other person that we like to watch Doctor Who together. You know what? I'm gonna not work so much, or I'm not gonna go to school so much just to keep making you happy and try to fix something that's obviously not working. No, you can't change your school, and if you can't help it, you can't change your work.
Right, but he said nothing was wrong with the relationship.
No, he said the relationship was suffering also.
Did he? Yeah, it was suffering from his shitty situation.
He said for the past few weeks my relationship hasn't been awesome. So basically, he said he hasn't had time to do the relationshipy parts of the relationship.
But only 2 weeks. But it's only been 2 weeks.
He said few weeks.
Few, whatever.
But that could be anything. That could be like the entire semester.
Let's say, though, like you've been dating someone for 3 years, and then 3 weeks out of those 3 years, you're having a really shitty 3 weeks, and the relationship starts to suffer during those 3 weeks. It's a 3-year bond that you've had. Like, you don't just end it because you had a little brief rough patch.
True, but on the same token, if you've been together 6 months, and you had a 3-week bad period, and you don't see a way out of it because school and work aren't going to end anytime soon, then you can kind of bow out. But it's not like he's doing this, and I understand where you're saying, like, oh, he's trying to get the hero complex, but it's not like he said, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not happy with you in this relationship. He's like, I'm not happy with the relationship because I can't give that to you. And the fact that she didn't even listen to the reasoning, she kind of overreacted a little bit.
Can you quickly skim and read the question again? I feel like I'm missing something.
So for the past few weeks, my relationship hasn't been awesome. I'm currently in teacher's college and work a full-time job to support myself. I barely have any time for myself, let alone a relationship. I'm not happy, which I don't think is the relationship's fault, but it doesn't help, so it's not great. I just broke up with my girlfriend an hour ago and I still feel like crap about it. I obviously still have feelings for her and I really didn't want to break up with her, but I just didn't want to drag her through this anymore. I feel it isn't fair. Quite honestly, I thought the breakup would be mutual, but I think it totally blindsided her. This isn't the first time the idea has come up for either of us. I think the fact that it actually happened has surprised her, though. So it's not like it's out of the blue. It seems from this, anyways, that they both at least put it on the table at one point, or mentioned that it could be on the table.
That's true.
So it's not like he just walked in one day and said, you know what, this isn't working, I'm done. I think they both put the switch up on the table, and he just finally mentally needed that break and hit it. Could they have taken a break? Sure.
No.
But
breaks are dumb.
They are dumb. I was saying, could they have?
Okay.
Yes. Should they have? Never. But could he be like, I just need like 2 weeks to just decompress? Sure. Because it's not like they both weren't aware of this situation.
I think that if he hadn't wrote that it had been on the table before, that a breakup had been on the table before, I would stick a little bit more with my first point. I think because it's been on the table before, it clearly isn't working. Something's not right. Something's not clicking. It's okay to, like, it sucks that they broke up, but it kind of makes more sense. I think for him to be like, I don't have time for this right now, it's legitimate, but I still don't like his reasoning. I don't like his reasoning that he does it to save her, because it's not like he even
doesn't say save. He just says he doesn't want to drag her through this anymore.
Yeah, he wants to spare her.
So you want him to keep hurting this entire situation?
It's not. It's not
like I want to hear your validation for continuing the relationship at the point where he's not able to give a relationship worthy performance.
But he's not giving her the choice to set where that performance is. Like, she is nowhere involved in
the decision-making part.
Any of it. Like, she might be okay that he's had a rough couple of weeks, that he hasn't been busy, or that he's been super busy and hasn't had too much time with her. She might understand that. Like, he's not giving her that option, though, to be okay with it.
Right, but they've already, like, said they put the option on the table before.
Right.
It's almost like daring one of the other one to finally pull the switch, and I feel like she just wasn't ready for it to be then.
Right. My thing is, like, let's say this was never on the table before. Okay. And let's say they've been together for a while. He starts working a bunch. He starts being away for a bit. His significant other knows this. Isn't exactly, obviously misses him and whatnot. But in the end is okay with it because he's doing something that he loves, that he gets satisfaction from. And because he gets satisfaction from it, she gets satisfaction from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I don't know. I guess I don't like. His question was, did I do the right thing? Probably, because this has been on the table before. However, I don't like his reasoning of trying to spare her, or, it's like, oh, I don't want you to get dragged through the mud and all my shit. It's like, maybe she's willing to go through the shit with you.
I don't think he's doing it from the hero complex.
I think he is.
I think he's being like, I am the problem of the relationship and I physically can't fix it, so I'm bowing out as the problem.
Right, but that's also sort of being the hero of it.
I mean, I guess if you want to keep calling him a goddamn hero and put a cape on him and put him in a goddamn Marvel Netflix show, go ahead. Watch the hell out of it, Tom.
I will.
I know you will. Well, I watch Narcos, a show almost exclusively in Spanish.
Anyway.
I think he did the right thing. I think
he
ripped the Band-Aid off.
I think he did it for the wrong reasons.
I think he ripped the Band-Aid off at the right time in the right way. Obviously, it's 1 hour after it happened, so he's not going to
Yeah,
get the
you're still gonna
desired
feel like
result.
shit.
But I think, give it a week or two and you'll realize that it's better for everybody involved. Next question.
Let's do it.
So I'm a freshman in college.
Okay. I was one of those.
I was one of those twice. No, just kidding, just once. And in one of my smallish group classes, there's this girl that I seem to have a lot in common with. I was wanting to message her on Facebook and maybe ask her out on a date or something. Now, I've only talked
Do it.
See? Okay, next question. Now, I've only talked romantically to one girl before, and she was the instigator in it. I've always had close female, she as in the girl that he was talked to originally,
Right,
not the
right.
girl from the Facebook message.
Right.
Okay. I've always had close female friends, and it's not like I'm terrified of speaking to girls or anything, but I'm just overly anxious about rejections. I really feel as if this girl and I could have potential in a serious relationship. So I was considering messaging her on Facebook or Twitter, but I wasn't really sure as to what to say without sounding weird or creepy. We don't really know each other that deeply, so I think whatever I say is going to be weird. We know each other's names simply from discussion in class, but we've never had a direct conversation. How do I message this girl?
Okay.
Be like, hey, bae, what's good? Don't say Netflix and chill. I will leave this chair and tackle you off that bar stool if you say Netflix and
I
chill.
wasn't going to, but now I am.
All right, it's about to get full contact in the octagon.
Podcast and chill, baby. Hashtag podcast and chill.
I hope you wake up with a zit that you confuse for herpes and have a panic attack for like an hour.
Nope. Was not tested for herpes. Almost was going to say I've been tested for that. Came up negative.
I have not been tested for herpes.
Neither have I. You know why? They recommend that if you've never had any sort of
Sexual contact?
Yes. No, if you've never had any sort of genital wart or sore, don't even bother, because it could be. Here's the thing. You could have the herpes simplex virus, but it could be dormant in your system, and it may never come up. Or let's say you've had a cold sore, that's technically the herpes virus, but it's a different strain. It's not the
Deadly
genital kind.
herpes.
Well, it's not the genital kind. So let's say you take the test, it comes up positive for herpes. You're like, oh shit! Now I need to tell everyone that I've ever slept with ever, which is yeah. So that can be very confusing and whatnot. Anyway, we're talking about other people, not STDs.
You kept going with it. Tom, the resident dick expert.
Eh?
Nope. Not even gonna try. Yeah, it's
What can I
tough.
say?
It's tough.
I like being safe.
I'm in that situation every single day, just in a lot less harmful situations, like on Tinder. I will match with somebody and then immediately dread the fact that I've matched with somebody because I need something to say to them.
Well, I think two things. One, you only get less anxious about rejection the more you get rejected.
True, but he's in a very small scale. Like, where he's at right now, like, I'm just going to guess he doesn't have a lot of girls in his life that would be in the potential romantic realm.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not even batting 1,000.
Right.
He's batting 0. So he's like, man, I don't want to start in the negatives. That'd just be bad. And then I lose the one potential romantic partner in my life because I have a very narrow view.
Well,
It's like if you're in college, there's thousands of women.
My thing is, though, like, I was friend zoned and rejected in high school. And at the time, it sucked, obviously. But now I'm like, I have no fear of it anymore. It's just like, yeah, let's just see what happens.
Tom
Why
lives
not?
in the friend zone.
No, but, it's just like you learn to just be not afraid of it anymore. Because you learn that it's not as bad as it sounds, or it's not that big of a deal. So, one, if she does reject you, don't worry about it. Move on. It's going to be all right. Two, here's what you do. So you friend request her on Facebook or
No, just say
follow
they're
her
already
on Twitter.
friends.
All right, so let's say they're already friends on Facebook, whatever. You wait for her to post something about the class, like, oh my God, this teacher sucks, or I don't know how to do this homework, or I just did this on the homework, or something like that. And then you comment on it. You start opening the dialogue because you already have some sort of common ground with the class. Like, it's not like on Tinder where you're starting from zero and you're like, oh, you like puppies? You said that in your bio. I like puppies too.
I do say that. Here's the thing. You had a good idea there. You said wait for her to mention something about the class.
That way you're not initiating the conversation. Mm-hmm.
I still think that's pretty far-fetched because I don't know who says that shit anymore.
True.
Like, I don't see any...
Trow.
I mean, I'm not in college, but I have friends who are still in college. I don't see people being like, man, Geo 111, what a bitch for a teacher. Like, I don't see that anymore. Not that I still have friends who are in college, so I expect from them. I think that's just something that doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Better idea. Think of something in that same class that you both have that you know forward and backwards. And then message her and say that you don't understand part of it. And have her explain it to you. Like through a message, just be like, hey, this theorem or this law, it just, I can't.
So let's role play it.
It'd be like,
I'll be the girl, you be the guy.
Sure. Hi, Tama?
Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
That was going to be my name if I was born a girl.
Good.
Fun fact.
Fact checked, Mrs. Graber. Okay, so Teresa, there's just one thing that's really been confusing me in class. Grant's 19 or 18.
Who are you?
Ouch.
What class are we in together?
Grant's overland campaign of 1864 just seems confusing through that march through Northern Virginia on the way to Richmond. I was just wondering, do you remember what 3 of the other 5 factors were? I remember Superior Army and something else, but the rest are just going to escape me, and we have that test on Monday. So do you know anything? Like, can you help me remember some of this stuff?
I honestly, I have literally no idea. I haven't really read the textbook too much, to be honest. So maybe it's in there. You could check that. But yeah, I don't know.
And that's when you find out.
If you find out, let me know though.
Ooh, that's a good opening. But then what he's found out is that she's fucking stupid.
Well, and that's kind of my point with that. Like, let's say you were in a math class and.
So, like, studying teriology. And just be like, dude, no, 1 times 1 is always 2. If you have 1, then that is 2. How do you get a quantity of 1? And then she'll be like, you're so smart. Give me your penis.
No, because I think, like, with any course, like, it's a risk. It could be high risk, high reward where she does know it and then explains it to you. Or it could be the opposite, which was the skit that I was trying to portray to you, is that like she doesn't know or just doesn't really want to help or can't help you, and then you're just like, well, now I can never message you again.
Textbooks and chill.
I mean, if you found out, she might say, if you find out the answer, let me know, but she might not. And then if you message her again with the answer, then it looks weird. It's like, oh, hey, you didn't know the answer to this the other day. Here it is. And then you're being like kind of the too nice guy. You know what I mean? It's like, oh,
depends on how you phrase
this guy, if I'm nice to this guy, if I flirt a little bit with him, he'll give me the answers to this stuff.
No. Tell the answer to her in real life. So if like, you're just like, so if we were studying teriology, what would 1 times 1 be? And she's like, I don't know, but if you find out, let me know. And then you see her in the hallway and you'd be like, oh yeah, by the way, the answer is 2. Then you can flip the collars up on your leather jacket and then go into the bathroom for some cigarettes.
He's not nearly that cool.
Neither are you, Tom. With your Guinness shirt and your... At least I'm fulfilling the prophecy here.
You're wearing a Labatt shirt and drinking Labatt.
A little bit.
a lot of it. That's exactly what you were pointing at.
You know, you don't need to make a big deal.
Anyway,
Yeah, I think he's just overthinking it. Go in there. And if you need a pickup line, if you want to start over the top, you can use my patented Tinder pickup line. Are you ready, Tom?
mm-hmm.
I'm drunk, you're horny, let's fuck.
I never had a pickup line for Tinder, really.
No, that's actually not my... I need to erase that. You can keep it in, but that's not the one I use.
Oh, okay.
The one I like to use is knock knock.
Who's there?
Little old lady.
Little old lady who?
Oh, Tom, I didn't know you could yodel.
That is pretty cute.
No, actually, that's not even the one that I use. I saw that one today, and I wanted to work that into the show in some way.
What was the one you used?
I wanted to tell you a Titanic joke.
Oh, yeah.
But the Titanic was really bad at breaking the ice.
Yep, you've told me that before. Yeah.
Although the one that I was told in high school was, I'm Asian, you're horny. No, you're Asian, I'm horny, let's fuck. By that same friend of the show who lives in Oregon. That was like her pickup line on me for like a year.
Her pickup line used to be, I don't have a gag reflex.
Or you might as well sleep with me. I'm just going to tell everyone else who we did anyway. She was always the alpha male.
Yeah, 100%. Why do you think I wanted to marry her in kindergarten?
You knew from a young age. You're like, they're just not going to get any better.
Knew from a young age I was going to be the beta.
Good comedy special. Kumail Nanjiani, beta male.
Anyway.
Is that a door or a gunshot?
I don't know. I hear sirens.
We're all going to die.
So pickup lines. I never really had any when I was on Tinder. So
He's
I can't really.
kidding.
I can't
He's
really.
still on Tinder.
I can't really. No, I'm not. I can't really say like what he should. I think it just had to be a natural thing about class. Like pick something you have common ground with, and go from there.
I guess. Yeah, that's it.
Because especially like if she doesn't really know who you are or that you even exist, you know. Well, it's not like you can open up and be like, "Hey, I saw pictures about your dog.
Agreed.
That's cool. I have a
Agreed.
dog too."
Agreed. But yeah, just don't overthink it and go in and prepared to not have it go well, but not in the sense to where like you feel the like fact that you're gonna fail going into it. Just know it's a possibility, because then anything else is a positive.
Sure.
Because if you go in thinking, okay, this probably isn't gonna work, and it doesn't work, you were right. But if you go in and it does work, you were wrong in the best way. I think that's a pretty positive thing to think about.
That is pretty positive.
Always be negative, kids. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Always be negative, and the world will look like rose petals. And not rosebuds. Prolapsing anuses.
Yeah, that's bad.
All right, Tom, do we have time for one more, or do you want to go to the lightning round?
There's a lightning round?
It's the headline round.
Oh. We're at 53.
We'll go to the headlines.
Yeah.
Those of you who are unfamiliar with our show, this is the ending portion where I pull 5 headlines from the last week in an attempt to see how little Tom knows about what's going on in the world. Fact check, Tom is 0-8, and we've only done this 8 times.
Yep.
Big news for Tom. He watched his first ever long-winded political thing. He watched the Democratic debate.
Yep.
And he paid attention for some of it. Most of it.
Yep. I went to bed.
Well, I mean, you went to bed at the closing statements, but
Yeah.
you weren't like on the edge of your seat going, oh my God, what's he going to say next? You're just like, when are they going to say something that'll be on Mashable?
No, I was waiting for Jim Webb to say something that I could make fun of.
Everything he said he could make fun of.
Exactly.
He came across as, I have a friend who, for everything. It's like...
He came across as, let me talk. You aren't letting me talk. I matter too.
I like the question where they said, please explain your enemies. And he goes, I'd like to explain my enemies. They're the guys who shot at me when I was in Vietnam. But you can't ask them, because they're dead. It's like, that's a terrible fucking thing to say.
Did you say that? I missed that.
Everybody else is just like, well, you can tell by my enemies that I'd be a very good president because the Republicans already hate me. And instead, Jim Webb's just like, fuck the Viet Cong.
Jim Webb, where are you right now? Vietnam.
He's just yelling Gattaca.
I never left.
He just runs around the stage yelling Gattaca. Anyway, so I pulled 5 headlines from the world. These are bizarre, weird, funny, obscure headlines. One of these I made up off the top of my head. And the other 4 are completely true, completely real. And Tom has to see if he can figure out which one isn't real, which one I created. Tom, are you ready to finally win?
Let's do it.
Headline number 1. Man arrested after Halloween decoration turns out to be a real dead woman.
Whoa.
Gotta get in the Halloween spirit.
That got dark. Holy shit. What? He killed a... What kind of Halloween direction? Fuck.
Number 2.
I gave him process for... Like, I imagine she's one of those, like, things that just hangs on a door frame, but it's a real-life body. This is like a Cannibal Corpse album cover.
It's like Halloween 7.
This is blowing my mind. Holy shit.
Number 2. Florida teen stabs friend for gender swapping his video game character.
Wow, that seems plausible. That's awful.
Number 3. California Target store airs porn over loudspeaker.
Did I hear about that happening? I might have. I think I might have.
Number 4. Paramedic bride leaves own wedding to rescue crash victims.
Cool. That's baller. I'd be like, yeah, this is why I'm marrying her. She's dope.
Number
It
5.
wouldn't be like, oh, honey, you're saving lives on our wedding. Oh, what about me? Like, oh, girl, get it.
Who's going to save my boner from this awkward rub on these trousers that aren't even mine?
Save that mouth to mouth for my dick later.
Number 5. New York City restaurant offers stake and ownership if you can finish your meal.
Huh. Like, if I finish my steak, I now own the restaurant.
The burrito, but yeah.
This sounds like...
It's a 30-pound burrito.
This sounds like a horror movie or something where, like...
It's a human centipede inside a burrito.
No, so...
Olay!
I remember there was... Bruce Colville was this author that I used to read as a kid, and he had this
He's
scary...
from Syracuse.
He had this one scary story. It was like a short scary story where kids would get, like, if they had an arm or like a limb hanging over the edge of a bed, some like demon kid from hell would reach out from underneath the bed and drag the kid down there. And then if the demon kid would then become the real kid, and the real kid would then become a demon kid. It's like you get dragged to hell, and the only way to get out of it is to drag another person to hell and then take their place.
So it's like an ever-ending game of, like, leapfrog.
Pretty
but
much.
The loser goes to hell.
Pretty much. I was scared as fuck. I did not sleep with my any limb over the edge of the bed for like a good week.
So we're going to go through those one more time, Tom.
Sure.
Number 1, man arrested after Halloween decoration turns out to be a real dead woman. Number 2, a Florida teen stabs friend for gender swapping his video game.
That's from Florida, so I believe that 100%.
3, California Target store airs porn over the loudspeaker.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, paramedic bride leaves own wedding to rescue crash victims. Or number 5, New York City restaurant offers stake and ownership if you can finish your meal.
Man, this is tough. I'm between 1 and 5. I'm gonna go with 5.
So you think you won't get a stake in the ownership of the restaurant if you can finish your meal?
Yeah.
Well, Tom, history has been made today.
I'm still
As
wrong.
in something probably happened historically today, but you're still wrong.
Yeah, thought so. You always lead me on.
I know, Tom. So that means, Tom, a New York City restaurant will offer you a stake in ownership if you can finish their mighty burrito.
Cool. Where is it?
Someplace in New York City, I don't know.
New York City's a big place.
Yeah, well, you're not there. You want to tell Garrett to eat the burrito?
Yes.
He'll shit all during the show.
Yeah, he will.
So
So they
would
won't
I.
get signed, and then none of our dreams will come true.
Exactly. Tom, a paramedic bride, did leave her own wedding to rescue crash victims.
Seems right.
Except some of the crash victims are actually members of her family on the way to the wedding.
Ooh.
But she did go to rescue them. Tom, a California Target store, did accidentally air porn over the loudspeakers.
I thought I heard that. Like, saw that headline.
And a man was arrested after a Halloween decoration in his front lawn did turn out to be a dead woman.
So it was Florida people?
Yeah, nobody in Florida stabbed a friend for gender swapping
so
his video
convinced.
game.
I was
a good
so
one.
convinced.
That was a good one
Yeah,
on my end.
that was good.
Yeah.
It hit all the weird points. It was weird. It was from Florida.
Video
it was
games.
slightly, like, not racist, but, like, I don't know. Bad.
Sexist.
Yeah. Is it?
Because he's like, oh, you made my character a woman? I'm not a woman. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, good job.
Most games, though, you don't get to go back and forth. So you have to pick one and stay
I
with
should
it.
have thought of that.
Like in Grand Theft Auto, you can't become a woman if it suits you. Or in Saints Row or games like that, like you have to stick with what you chose.
Gotcha.
For future reference, Tom is always wrong. Anyways, that pulls us to the end of episode Tom. Are you ready?
Episode Tom?
Episode Tom, the dick expert. That's going to be the name of the episode now.
Dick expert. I'm okay with it.
Anyways, if you have any questions or things you would like us to answer on the show, please send the email to neverhaveievershow@gmail.com. We will keep you anonymous. We'll keep you safe while we try to sort out your life for you. You can also send us your suggestions to the neverhaveievershow.tumblr.com ask box. I check those daily. There's nothing in there daily, but I do check it daily. You can check out our Twitter at twitter.com/NHIE show, or you can check us out on Facebook or YouTube. Tom, we help some people.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit better about my life today.
I think I do too.
And you know what, Tom?
What?
Just like all the kids listening, we can keep our finger in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.